Hi, I'm Alberto Calva from Acus Consulting. I want to tell you about our workshop of finance for non-financial managers. For the last 25 years, I have continuously been giving workshops for executive education. I have had the chance to deliver workshops in 8 different countries. The workshop of finance for non-financial managers is one of the most requested, and it's useful for all executives, business people, as well as entrepreneurs. When I give a workshop, not only the participants learn. As incredible as it sounds, I keep learning every day. Something important has been to improve the structure of my workshops so they are aligned to business strategy. Also, that the delivery is practical from a real business world point of view. But what do we see in the workshop of finance for non-financial managers? Well, we try to answer some questions like these ones. What are the bases for a financial analysis in a company? How can we align the business strategies to achieve the financial goals? Do you know how to read and understand the financial information from your company? Do you know how to analyze a company with financial ratios? Do you clearly understand concepts like investment and profitability? Do you know the difference between profit and cash flow, as well as when each of these is important for the company? Why is it important for a company to have certain level of debt in order to be healthy? Do you know that if your company makes a profit, doesn't necessarily means it is a profitable business? For this, you need to create economic value. What is the definition of this? How is economic value creation calculated? What do you have to do in your business or in your business unit in order to achieve the financial goals? Bottom line, profitability is the name of the game. At the end of the workshop, you must feel comfortable participating in managerial meetings as well as board meetings. In these meetings, you will get financial information, and it is expected that you make a basic analysis and that you make logical and intelligent questions that will help the analysis and improvement of the business. Let me go into the daily program. It is a 3-day workshop, and the structure is more or less like this. Day 1. The first day we start by analyzing the decision making in business and the role of finance, as well as the goal of a company. Later, we review what is accounting and why it is an important source of information for finance. We present the 3 financial statements and we get into the balance sheet. The idea is for you to be able to make a managerial reading of the balance sheet. We emphasize on the business strategy and the decision making. For example, we pursue to understand why working capital is important, why having too much cash can be something bad, what depreciation is and how we do this in investment decisions. Also, what is liquidity? And what is solvency? Why a company that does not have debt is a bad company? How should a firm finance itself? More debt or more equity? Day 2. In the second day, we close with some concepts from the balance sheet, and we make a review and an analysis of the balance sheet of the real world company we were using. Usually, it is a public company. This is a company traded in the stock exchange. From here we go into the income statement. Earnings are a measurement of wealth creation, but earnings are not cash flow, and earnings are not economic value creation. And we go into the details of the income statement. How does inventory and general changes in working capital affect earnings and cash flow? What are the minimum earnings that a company should have to be considered a business. Is a company really a business with the operation, or does it need other sources? When is the operating profit relevant, and when are the net earnings? And we will talk about the differences between earnings and cash flow. When are earnings important, and when is cash flow important? Let's not forget, sales are not necessarily cash collection. With this, we'll get into a review of the income statement of the real company we have already used. We make the connections between the income statement and the balance sheet, and we try to understand the why of the profitability. How to measure profitability both for the company and for the shareholder. Day 3. In the third day, we make some exercises and we review cases of how to improve the profitability, as well as how does leverage affects the profitability of the shareholder. And we make the relationship of profitability with strategic thinking. We go into the calculation and analysis of other financial ratios, for example, day sales, sales margins, assets turnover, and others. We also talk about the DuPont model. With this, we go back to our real company that we have been using, and we go further into its analysis. Lastly, we go into the third financial statement. We're talking about the cash flow. It all starts with an analysis of sources and uses of cash. What business activities affect the income, and which ones affect the cash flow, and which ones affect both? In order to understand the health of the net cash flow, we analyze its structure. What about the cash flow from operations, the cash flow from investment activities, and the cash flow from financing activities? We close the workshop making a complete analysis of how different situations affect the company and how we can see these in the financial information. I hope to have a chance to have you in one of my workshops of finance for non-financial managers soon. Have a great day. See you soon.